Welcome back to Hindustan Astrology. I'm Katya. In today's video, we're going to go over the February 2021 full month of transits. Now, to kick off this month, we have Mercury entering Aquarius on the 11th, and this is going to initiate a 5-planetary pileup in Aquarius for the new moon on the 13th. It's in Purva Bhadrapada, and we're going to have Sun, Moon, Neptune, Venus, and Mercury all in Aquarius. This is very intense, especially for the United States chart, because our moon is there and we have a lot of transits going on with our chart, including Sati Sati. So this is really going to be intense for anybody living in the United States. Now, after that, we have the Sun and Venus going into Pisces. Now, Venus is exalted in Pisces, and so this is actually a great time to do things that make you happy. Now, on the 26th, we have the big Mars-Rahu conjunction. This is going to be very intense, and while Mars is conjunct Rahu, he's also opposed to Ketu. This can ignite anger, this can ignite paranoia, this can ignite fear. And we know that the George Floyd trial is coming up for the cops that were arrested for his murder. So I think this is going to ignite a lot of anger. And notice that it's also in Rohini. Rohini is ruled by the moon. And then 2 days later, on the 28th, we have the full moon, which is in Virgo, Hasta Nakshatra, which is also ruled by the moon. So this is kind of pulling our attention to the lunar energies, and especially the lunar eclipse that occurred last June 5th that ignited all of the anger, because that was the day that he died. So the lunar eclipse energy is going to be coming back full force this month. And having so many planets in Aquarius, I think, is trying to pull our attention to the fact that we need to be thinking about humanity, be thinking about our community and others before ourselves. So let's take a look at detail exactly what's going on. Okay, so we see, I'm actually doing this video on the 5th because not much is going on between now and the 11th, so gave myself a few extra days. But you can see we're starting here on the 1st, and the first major alignment, as I said, was going to be the 11th. And this is Mercury going into Aquarius. And then 2 days later, we have, well, it's earlier in the day, but here we go. The new moon in Purva Bhadrapada. Now, this is representative of the dragon. This is the goat. This is what, in Christianity is associated, the devil is associated with the goat. So this is Ijikapada, the one-footed goat form of Shiva, Rudra, actually. But it's a very intense pattern busting kind of nakshatra. And having this many planets here is showing us society is changing, and we're really going to feel it with this new moon. Let's go by day and go forward. And we see that the next alignment is Sun going into Pisces on the 15th, and then Venus joins. Now you notice that they're in a, almost conjunct. The next day we're going to have Venus and the Sun exactly conjunct. And what happens is, Venus doesn't like to be in the Sun's shadow. None of the planets do, but especially Venus. And so it's usually, indicative of low self-esteem, but when Sun and Venus are exactly aligned down to the minute, that's called Kazimi, and that is actually a window of opportunity. It's when things are actually good. It's an excellent time to take, whatever opportunity comes to you at that time. Take advantage of it. And then we have, let's see, having Venus in Pisces is exalted. So let's just remember that, it's actually the 26th when they are exactly conjunct. And also what's happening that day is that we have Mars and Rahu exactly conjunct. And so having, the indicator of low self-esteem, Venus-Sun conjunction, and Mars and Rahu exactly conjunct, something's got to give. The rock meets the hard place. And, Venus is exalted. Some say Rahu is exalted in Taurus. Some say it's in Gemini. But nevertheless, these are in a trine to each other, so that can actually be good. But what concerns me is, while it's conjunct Rahu, it's also opposed to Ketu. And we saw the Rahu-Ketu conjunction, I think it was February 26th of 2020, and that was right when we were going into quarantine and all that stuff. So, we as a collective are going to have to be vigilant about the virus, be careful of, letting down our defenses too quickly, still wear your mask, still, just be vigilant, be careful, because this is indicating a lot of intensity. And then we have the full moon, which is the 28th. So this Mars-Rahu conjunction is setting us up for the full moon. And it's actually in Hasta. I got to go by hour. And I'll just show you. There we go. I can get it down to the minute, but basically when Sun and Moon are at exactly the same degree, then it's a full moon or a new moon. So notice that Rohini is ruled by the moon and Hasta is ruled by the moon, and Shravana is ruled by the moon. So we've got a trine here between Saturn, Mars and Rahu, and the moon. What does this mean? Well, from Washington, D.C., this conjunction is taking place in the 11th house. So it's communities, it's great gains, it's big money. That could be when we're actually getting that stimulus check again. And Saturn is at 1658. I mean, it's not an exact to the degree conjunction, but that's pretty tight. And yeah, this is in the 7th house of opponents, and the moon is in the 3rd house of news and media and communications. I think we're going to see a lot of anger surrounding George Floyd and the trial coming up, and that worries me. And then we've got, by the end of the month, we have Mercury going into Pisces. Now, Mercury in Pisces is actually debilitated. So it's interesting that we have Venus exalted conjunct Mercury debilitated. So what does that mean? Well, basically that indicates you know, again, Sun-Venus conjunction, not great for self-esteem, not great for expressing yourself or for love or relationships with the father. Having Mercury come along debilitated, you're not going to be communicating very well. And for Washington, D.C., this is going to happen in the 6th house. So, you know, I'm a little concerned that the rhetoric that we're getting about health in the 6th house will be toned down or not accurate, or they're afraid to take a stance. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to pan out, but knowing that we've had, you know, Texas open up, and I think Alabama and a couple other states, you know, virus doesn't care about our money situation or anything. It's just going to take advantage of people. So I think this is what this is indicating. As much as I want everything to go back to normal, if we jump the gun, we're going to be in trouble. So, and then that takes us up to the 1st of April. So, yeah. So the big story is the Mars-Rahu conjunction, and we've just got to really be careful of our words, be careful getting into angry fights, especially online, and just working on preparing to get back to normal. Okay, you guys, so that is the video for this month. And of course, if you like my videos, if you want to hear any more, just click the like button and subscribe. And of course, if you're interested in a reading with me, you can go to my website, which is hindustanastrology.com, and click on the consultations tab and you'll see everything. And I just wanted to also say a word about my new Uma's Upayas aromatherapy Navagraha elixirs. They are wonderful. I've been working so hard on each formula, getting exactly the right oils and the right scent that I want for each. It hasn't been easy, but I think I've gotten the formulas that I really like. If you're interested, go to my website and you'll see the shop, and it has everything in there. And then of course I have the Navagraha gemstone bracelets coming up with Sarvani designs, and the Navagraha cosmic healing discs with Sherry Lynn of Pleiadian Cosmic Healing Discs. So I hope this finds you well. Namaste.